It's important to mention that art therapy is one of the mildest but at the same time deepest psychological and psychotherapeutic method, while drawing and molding or describing problems or moods in written form. A child gets a coded message from him or herself, the message from the subconscious. It's not just drawing, it's free creativity that helps give way to one's fears, emotions, release distress, anxiety, creates one's own healing symbols. Children who grew up in boarding schools or orphanage are not prepared enough to the independent life. After graduation, being face to face with their problems, children are at a loss. They don't want to take responsibility for their own lives. Without post-graduation support, the majority of graduates get involved with the so-called wrong guys. That's why one of the primary goals for Healthy Choice is the assistance to the process of socialization, while teaching the graduates all the necessary knowledge and skills for the independent life in society. One of the basic working methods is arrangement of support and self-support groups. I'm a boarding school graduate. Certainly, when I left the boarding school, it was very difficult because I had no support, no help, and no kind people around. Though, of course, it's possible to find this help. In Healthy Choice, I got acquainted with different specialists. Natalia, Olga, Kate, and Vlad. They taught me a lot. Thanks to Healthy Choice, I learned to live in the right way, to trust people, to communicate, to find interests in life, to overcome difficulties, not to be confused, to become a better person. Now I give an example to my peers. Some people might not know something or they have chosen the wrong way. Certainly, I'll take them here so that they wouldn't get lost in life. But the specialists work not only with those who have just started a grown-up life, but also with those who have made this step. These are young mothers, the graduates of the boarding schools. Their problem is that being mothers, they don't have their motherly instinct well developed. Many of them don't know the basic rules, don't have any idea about how to bring up their children. Only a few understand that they must play with their children. A psychologist and a social worker are here to help these young mothers. It's very difficult for a mother who is a boarding school graduate to bring up her own children because she doesn't have a family model of her own. They have never seen a normal family. They have never seen the mother's and the father's roles. Their motherly instinct is not formed, as I've noticed with the young mothers. Not only couldn't they play with their children, but also they didn't have any idea how to approach children when they were crying or when they were fighting. They used to threaten the children severely like, "I'll lock you in a dark room," or "I'll lock you at home." When a mother says something like this to a 2- or 3-year-old child, it's terrible to hear such words from a close person. That's why what we started with while working with the young mothers was elementary knowledge about what violence is, and what a mother shouldn't do, and what she should do to be a good parent. I think that these mothers want to be good parents. The average age of the girls is 25 years old. The majority of them have become mothers for the second time. The girls attend the classes with pleasure. They share the impressions with pleasure as well, and admit that these classes have given a lot to them, and they hope that in future they will learn even more. I like it. We acquire more experience. We learn how to bring up our children. We manage a lot of things ourselves. I used to beat my child. It turns out that I shouldn't have done it, because this is wrong to bring up a child like this, to beat him. I spent little time with my child. I didn't go for a walk with him, punished him very strictly. Now I have become a little bit gentler. I never miss these classes. The primary goal for the specialists is not to control the young mothers, but to teach them to live by themselves. As the young mothers are boarding school graduates, they are the underloved children themselves. Finally, we divided our class into two parts. On the one hand, we bring up young mothers and work with them, explain something, do something together, discuss and argue about different things. On the other hand, our classes are directed to the mothers' cooperation with their children, because they don't know how to sit down near their children, to take a pen or a brush, to praise a child for well-done drawing. Such things can make a mother and a child closer. It's early to speak about certain results, very little time has passed. But it is obvious that all the mothers have become more tolerant to their children. They are able to play with their children now. I would say that it's too early to speak about particular serious results at the moment, as too little time has passed. But what I can observe now is that practically all these parents have stopped beating their children. They understand perfectly well what is not allowed to do with a child, like to leave a child in a dark room or threaten a child, and now there are few examples like that in communication. They all have learned to praise their children, to say words of love. They've learned to play with their children and to spend spare time with them. They have learned to be happy for their children's success. If a child has drawn something, they are eager to share this with others, saying like small children, "Look, this is what my son has drawn." Teenagers from risk groups also come to Healthy Choice for help and support. The Girls Club Flamingo is vivid evidence. The Flamingo Club is a club for young girls aged from 14 to 16. This is a club I would dream of when I was a teenager. So when I became a specialist, I created this club myself. This is not just a course, it's an integrated program which helps the girls to study, to develop, to organize their spare time, to know more about the world and about themselves. They learn to communicate and defend their point of view. The Flamingo Club is a place where you can come to share your joys and sorrows, to get the help of the specialists of different kinds. By the way, these are the girls who have become a dedicated following for Healthy Choice. The graduates of the Flamingo Club are the main volunteers for the organization. I'm very interested. When I know that I can help the children and make their lives more interesting, I feel very happy. One of the methods aimed at achieving the goals of the youth organization Healthy Choice is dancing. It's exactly with the help of the dance that the grown-ups find a common language with the children. The girls answer willingly the question, "Why have you chosen these classes?" We have chosen these classes because we can communicate and have fun here. To find new friends, communicating, dancing together make us more united. Indeed, the work in the collective group teaches communicative skills, mutual responsibility and help. The members of the Club Flamingo understand the rule, all for one and one for all, very well. Because not only do the girls learn dancing, but also go with their shows to the orphanages and boarding schools. Any show is always an event which requires responsibility, when both teamwork as well as ability to work individually are appreciated. The girls are speaking eagerly about the musical play on the problem of human trafficking instead of paradise. We show this reel not only to grown-ups, but also to children from boarding schools, so that children should know about the problem of human trafficking, as many of us don't even think about it. They think we just go abroad.